Hello everyone, I'm Tushar Pingde and I'm a business analyst in Kylas. Today's webinar is all about how you can get better visibility and business insights from your Kylas data, right? We will cover in today's webinar, we will cover how you can change the order of the columns on a listing page, how to show a latest note on a lead listing page, what is UTM fields and what is UTM parameters for leads and deals, and how it will help you to get better insight of your source of expenditure. Okay, then we will see how we can add multidimensional and multimetric reports on dashboard, and last but not the least, feeds a history on every record. So let me share my screen and we'll take a look one by one. So this is the Kylas dashboard you see when you logged in into the system. We always receive requests from our clients that they want their data to show in a certain format. They want to customize the visuals of the listings. They want certain things on listing itself, so they don't need to go on a details page of any of the records. So we are happy to s- tell you that we always consider our client's requirement, and we bring some features according to the request that we get from our clients. So this time, the first thing that we have being for our clients is that changing the order of the columns. So if you go to lead, this is the lead listing page, this is the deal, and this is the contact listing page. So earlier there was not a feature which will allow you to rearrange the column. Yeah? It was very painful for our clients that they could have add more columns. Let's say I want to add a last name. Okay, so whenever any of the columns they are adding on a listing page, there was a fixed order of all the columns. Okay, so if let's say you would have added one column, it will show on a order, a certain order, the order that we follow on our layout. If you see our layout, you can see a order of the columns like salutation, first name, last name, pipeline. So the order of the columns was fixed earlier, but now with the help of this feature like changing the order of the column, you can rearrange the column and you can just drag that column that you don't need and you just drop that column wherever you want, right? So let's say there is a first name as a column and there is no value over here. You can either go to column section and either you can remove it or you can just reposition it somewhere else, right? So this way you can change order of the column. Let's say you have one smart list over here, open leads, right? So these are the open leads and you want to know that when those leads are created, what you would do, you will add one more column created at and you will apply it, right? But let's say you want this column at initial level, you will just drag this column and put it over here. So this way you get to know when those leads which are open are created in the system, right? And let's say if you are changing a smart list, again I will select the smart list as all leads. And again, we'll select the same smart lead in which I had done some modifications. Open leads. You can see column is over there only. I haven't saved this column, but it is getting automatically saved with this smart list. So you don't need to drag and drop the columns every time. Whenever you are dropping that column in required form, required order, it will get saved with respect to this selected smart list. So this will be available for both deals as well as contacts, right? So this way you can rearrange the information according to the columns that you want at initial stage, and you can just drop the rest of the columns at the end, or you can just remove it by selecting this column selector. Okay, so next thing was showing the latest note on listing note. So let's say you have some leads. Let me change to all leads. So this is the list. If you see, I cannot see what was the note added at last on these records. If I want to check it, I just need to go to details page, and then over the note section, I can see what was the last note that added on this record. If let's say I want to check the note for another lead, I will select this lead, and then I can see what was the last note added on this record. But it is very tedious job to go to every record at details page and see the latest added notes, right? But what you can do now, you can just select a column said latest notes. I will save this with the smart list, and if I scroll at the end, there's the latest note. I can rearrange these latest notes upfront, so I will get more visibility, better visibility. Let's say I have added this column over here. So with this column, I can see what was the last note added on this record. I will just select this. I will just click on this view notes, and this is the last note that I have added on this record. If I click on this, you can see last notes added on this record. So now you don't need to go to details page of every record to see what was the last latest note. Just add a column of latest notes over the listing page and just click on this CTA to see what was the latest activity or note was added on the record. Third thing is that we have introduced UTM fields as well. If you go to create or add a lead or add deal contact form, and if you see all the fields under campaign information, you can see more fields over here. Earlier it was only a campaign and a source, but now you can see more fields like UTM source, sub source, UTM campaigns, UTM content, and UTM term. If you open deal form under campaign information, you will see same fields that we had seen on lead page. So how it will help you to get a better insight on your expenditure on marketing activities, right? So let me show you. So I have searched a real estate in Pune on a Google, let's say, and you are running a marketing campaign with the help of Google AdSense on Google, or let's say you are just running a marketing campaign for your real estate projects on Facebook. Whenever you search on Google, at the beginning, it shows you certain ads. You can see a label of ad over here. These are the paid campaigns, and after that the result which does not have a ad as a label, they are the generic ones. So let's say you are spending expenditure on marketing campaign that you are running on Google. Let's say I'm just opening this ad. So under URL, you will see the fields like UTM source as Google, right? UTM medium search. What was the campaign? The campaign name was Nyati A. And so these are the fields, nothing but these fields under the campaign information like source, campaign, medium, term. You can see under the URL. So these are coming from the campaign that you are running on Google, let's say, or in case of let's say Facebook. So you this URL is nothing but your campaign URL, and by capturing this information in the field that we have provided like this, let's say this is the source as Google, UTM source as Google. Again, the medium was search, campaign was this, let's say. Okay. So let's say you have this lead. So you have done integration, API integration, and let's assume that this lead has came from this marketing campaign. Okay. So by passing all these UTM source, medium, and campaign in the field that we have given on the form, just a minute, my internet speed is a little bit slower. Yeah. So this was the test lead that I had created. If I open this and if I go to campaign information, So I was saying that let's say you are getting more number of leads from API integration. Let's say you are running number of campaigns on different platforms, like one campaign on a Google, one campaign on Facebook, one campaign on a YouTube. Okay, and number of leads that you are getting into the system by referring this campaign information, Google, a campaign name and source. You can get better insight of which campaign is performing better way, and where you have to spend your expenditure in order to get more leads. Let's say these are the all leads enough, and if I filter out with the campaign, so this is the UTM source. I have got 7 number of leads from the different campaign. Let's assume that I was running a marketing campaign on different platforms. Let's say one campaign from Google, one from IVR, and let's say one was organic, one was the result of organic search, and one was on a website itself. So by applying filter, I can get more insight of what is the source of my leads and where I should spend more money on marketing to get more number of leads. So this way UTM parameters will help you to get more better insight and capture all the source and campaign information in order to track all the marketing activities, right? Another thing that we have introduced, like if you go to dashboard, we have very refined dashboard where you can customize your dashboard, you can rename your dashboard, or you can just add more dashlet and more reports on your dashboard for daily activities, right? So if you see earlier, let me edit the existing one. If I click on add new dashlet, I would only select one dimensional report. So let's say I go to the report, leads by owner, or let's say average duration of calls. So this is the one dimensional report. The dimension in this report is only a owner. Okay. So we have two types of reports in Kylas. The one is one dimensional report and second is multi-dimensional report. Let me show you the difference between both. So this was the one dimensional report, and this is the multi-dimensional report where you can see more dimension, a dimension more than one. Let's say one dimension is owner and one dimension is source. With the multi-dimensional report, you can get more detailed report, like let's say this is the owner Tushar, which are having 1359 number of leads, out of which the 698 are coming from India Mart. 315 does not have any of the source. 172 leads having Trade India as a source. So this way you can get a more detailed report with the help of multidimensional reports. Let's say if you want to track these reports on a daily basis, what you will do, you will go to dashboard and you can add that created reports on your dashboard. So let's say just go to edit or create new one. Here you can rename your dashboard name. You can add more dashlets. Let's say and click on the dashboard on dashlet. Here you will be asked to select what type of dashlet you want to add. So I want report to be added on a dashboard. I will select report. I will select entity. Let's say deal or lead. I can see a multi type of report in the listing. Okay, we'll select one of the multi-dimensional report. You can see a preview of this report and we'll click on add. So I had selected lead as an entity. So you will see this report under lead entity and this is your report. If I save this, whenever you logged in into the system and go to dashboard, let's say, you will see a more detailed report in terms of showing more dimensions like the owner of the records, what is the system role of the record, and in which pipeline. Let's say this was the pipeline that I had selected while creating report. So what is the pipeline and number of record out of 683? How many leads are there in the life cycle pipeline? How many leads does not have a pipeline and how many leads are there in a demo pipeline? So this way I can get more detailed report if I add a multi-dimensional report on a dashboard itself. If I click on this report, it will take me to details of the report and I can simply click on this widget to see exact leads which are in life cycle. So 573 on the listing, sorry, on the listing there are 573 and I can see which are those records which are in life cycle pipeline, let's say. Okay, so this was about the multi-dimension. Let's say you want to see a more metrics on the dashboard itself. Let me remove this. So we are now supporting multi-metric report on a dashboard itself. So let's say if you select this dashlet, I'll select report as a dashlet. We'll select any of the entity. This is my multi-metric report. If I see and add this. So this was the entity that I had selected, and under this entity, I will see a report, a detailed report of multiple metrics over the dashboard itself. I can save this dashboard, and whenever you will visit this dashboard or logged in into the system at the very beginning of the day, these reports will be there and you can get better insight of all the daily activity or the activities done by your users yesterday or a day before, right? So this was about the dashboard reports. The next part and very important part is that we have introduced feeds history. Okay, cause history or operations that you are performing on records that are available in the system, it gives you actually gives you automatically tracks many of the actions completed within the CRM. Also it track all the updates made to your contacts, deals or leads. Let's say I'm selecting lead, let's say. Hmm. So it gives you more better insight on the records life cycle. Okay, so if you see, this is the details page of the lead. If you go to deals and open any of the deal and scroll down, you will see history feature over here. If you visit contact and go to any of the contact details page, if we scroll down, You will see history over the contact detail page. So what it gives you, it gives you a better insight and life cycle of that record. Let's assume I'm tracking a lead. Okay, this is the lead. There is no pipeline on this record. Okay, if I scroll down, I can I can see a update happen on this record. Let's say who was the creator of this lead. Okay, this is the name of the lead. Now if the lead has reassigned to any of the user, then you can track this event when who was the earlier owner and who is the new owner, and when it was reassigned to a new owner, let's say a day ago. If you hover on this time parameter, you will see exact time and date of the operation. If let's say I have created or any of the owner have created a task on this record, you will see a task name created and creator name. Okay, and what was the property while creating a task, you will see over here. So let's say let me show you the live example. Let's say there is no pipeline attached to this lead. If I attach any of the pipeline and I save this, if I go to history section, you can see Tushar Pingte made following changes to the leads, and leads change from empty to demo pipeline. So earlier there was no pipeline and I have attached a pipeline named demo pipeline. And if I again refer to the stage which is open, we'll also see that pipeline stage change from empty. There was no pipeline stage attached because there was no pipeline attached to the record. And now it's on open stage. If I let's say change a pipeline, you will get to see a event like Tushar Pingte has changed the pipeline stage of lead from open to state. This way you can track that how much time your users or executives taking to change the pipeline or nurturing the leads from open to close. Let's say I'm closing this lead. If I go to history, you can see pipeline stage, send prospect. Okay, send prospect. So during attaching a pipeline stage to moving that record to send prospect stage, over here there's only 1 minute gap because I was just demonstrating the things. But yeah, the read and moving the pipeline stage of that particular record. Let's say if you are adding any of the tasks in between nurturing the leads, you can get all the insight of the task as well over here. Same if you go to deals, I'm opening a existing deal. If I go to history, so VP was the creator and he reassigned this deal from VP to Tushar. Let's say this was the first event. Then another event was Tushar changed this, attach the pipeline because there was, you can see empty because there was no pipeline. So he attached a pipeline name test pipeline and he moved that deal to open stage. Let's say okay. So if let's say between closing this deal, I got to know as a user or a executive, I got to know that yeah, the requirement of this uh, product, like This was the deal about this product and this much of quantity, and this was the product and this much was quantity, and total amount was for this product was 58,000. Let's say if during nurturing this deal I had to update a quantity, let's say client as client is asking for more quantity, and if I save this, if I come to history, you can see what changes has been made to your product while referring to this deal. Okay, so this way whatever actions you are performing on any of the record, you will get to know and you can track all the activities. Or let's say you can see 2 days ago this deal was in an open stage. If it's still in an open stage, you can ask your executives why and what is the challenge to move this deal in a next stage, right? So this way you can track all your records and challenges that your executives are facing, right? So let me summarize the things that we have covered till now. Okay. So first thing that we saw is that you can now rearrange the columns on a listing page. You can see a latest note by just adding a column name as latest note. Okay. And you can see a latest note over listing page itself without going to details page of the record. Third thing that we have seen is that you can now capture campaign information for the record to get a better insight of the campaign expenditure. The next thing that we saw is that adding multidimensional and multimetric report on a dashboard. And last but not the least is that feeds history. So now you can track every action or every update that your executives are performing on any particular record. Thank you for attending the webinar. Let's meet on next webinar on the next week. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye bye.